With a show like Helluva Boss being centered around demons in hell, you'd think that most of the characters, considering their heritage, would be borderline unlikable, but that's just not the case, and you can see throughout various episodes that Vivzy and her crew can only expand upon the world that Helluva Boss lives in, and they do their damnedest to make the show the best it can be with awesome writing, awesome music, and fun characters, as well as quirky, you love to hate villains. And that's what we're here to talk about today, talking about the 3 different and unique villains that appear throughout many episodes in Season 1, with the exception of Stryker only having 1 episode in which he debuted in, Episode 5, The Harvest Moon Festival. However, it is implied that he will be returning in Season 2. Veraska is heavily stated throughout the show, and it's pretty much confirmed by now, that she had once been in a sexual relationship with Blitzo, and in fact even loved him at some point, which is a vast contrast to the way her character is now, where she absolutely despises Blitzo for something he did to her in her past. Now, she does talk to Blitz and has arguments with him about how he maxed out her credit card and then bought shitty horse riding lessons, which obviously is a very bad thing to do to your girlfriend, and then steal her car and leave. Now, Blitz is a very messed up character emotionally, so he probably had a reason to do this. However, it's never explicitly stated why he did this. A lot of people believe that he thought that Veraska was going to leave him because she was better off without him, so he just decided to leave. Veraska would eventually run into Blitz after unknowingly stealing his parking space in behind the parking lot at IMP, obviously pissing Blitz off a lot. They get into an argument, and throughout the rest of her inclusions in various episodes throughout the first season, she is heavily into basically mocking Blitz and being belligerent and rude to him, which I gotta admit is not something that she's really at fault for. Blitz was extremely rude and mean to her and probably broke her heart, and hence all of her actions are justified. So that's why I'm looking at her character first, because she's really just kind of a mean-spirited person because of what Blitz did to her. And when it comes to her rivalry with Blitz, that's pretty much her whole antagonistic role within the series. She hates Blitz, and whenever she sees him, she wants to punish him for what he did to her. And any of the other characters that she interacts with the show, she treats with respect, and she's nice and friendly to. She even lets Luna, Blitz's daughter, hang out at her bodyguard's parties. So that's pretty cool. And the only other thing that she did to another character that wasn't Blitz was Moxie, where she sexually assaulted him, but that was more or less to get at Blitz. Being a succubus, she also enjoys going to Ozzy's strip club for obvious reasons. Depravity, savagery, Lloyd, hotter than Fizzeroli is another case of a villain that was made by Blitzo. Fizzeroli and Stolas used to be great friends when they were kids, and it's never made explicitly clear, at least as of right now, why it is that Fizzeroli hates Blitz so much. What could Blitz have done to make his childhood best friend despise him and ridicule him every chance he gets? It's never made quite clear, but I'm sure it'll be explained within Season 2. But nonetheless, Fizzeroli despises Blitz as well, much the same way Veraska does. When it comes to Fizzeroli, not only the organic original, but a robotic animatronic version kept at Lululand, that Fizzeroli as well seems to also have an underlying hatred for Blitzo, making fun of him and laughing maniacally. This version, compared to the real Fizzeroli, is a lot more hysterical and maniacal. Very crazy and unhinged, which I really liked about his character. However, unfortunately, he was eaten by a demonic dragon during the fall of Lululand. So it seems both versions of Fizzeroli, Blitz managed to piss off in some way or another. I'm sensing a pattern here of Blitz making his own enemies. He also seems to have some kind of a weird relationship that appears to be already in development throughout Season 2, with Asmodeus, the demon of lust. As well, he also seems to have a weird attraction to fire. He loves fire, and in a lot of his scenes it shows him depicted holding fire or being surrounded by fire. I don't know if this will have any role to play in any future inclusions of this character, but I guess we'll have to wait till season 2 to find out. And lastly, we've probably arrived at one of the most evil and sadistic villains throughout the first season of Helluva Boss thus far. And that is Stryker. Having no prior connection to Blitzo, this is unique in the formula, because most of the previous villains have been connected to Blitzo in some way, whereas he's presumably ruined their lives. Stryker is a bounty hunter, and he was hired by Stella to murder Stolas because she wants revenge for Stolas cheating on her with Blitz. So Stryker was paid to do the job. Before we get down to the downright evil and sadistic things that Stryker does in the only episode he appears in season 1, I first want to take the time to discuss that he is a talented musician, and he even creates a song on the spot just to spite Moxie and be a kind of dickhead to him, but man, he's a good guitar player. He makes those mad riffs and he's pretty cool. He even makes references to Big Enough in his musical number Sweet Victory. So pretty funny, and I like that he's modeled after a outlaw. Yeah, he's not a nice outlaw. He's not, being bad for some greater purpose. He's just being evil because he can. But let's get down to some of his more questionable motives. So the reason why he appears to be the help for Millie's family when the IMP crew arrives in the Wrath Ring is specifically so he can become friends with Blitzo, as he wants to both hire Blitzo to work with him killing demon royalty, but also because he wants Blitzo out of the way so he can kill Stolas, because he was hired to do so. He also ruthlessly attacks Moxie for snooping through his shit and violently chokes him out. In fact, Moxie would have been killed by Stryker, it would seem, if Millie hadn't gotten involved, because Millie snuck up on Stryker and started stabbing him and punching him in the back, which obviously really hurt, which led him to pull away from Moxie and engage with Millie. And he quickly overpowered them, and when it was finally revealed that he was in fact a villain and not a good guy, Blitzo decided to fight him, the IMP team coming together to defeat him, forcing Stryker to retreat. However, it is implied that he will be back to finish the job via his dialogue with Stella at the end of the episode. I was originally going to feature Asmodeus on this list, but I decided against it because Ozzy really doesn't do anything remotely evil or antagonistic to our characters. In fact, what you might consider as antagonistic is when he tries to very aggressively and rudely get Moxie to stop singing a sentimental love song in a strip club that he owns. And in fact, he even tries to give Moxie a second chance to sing the kind of song people are paying to hear, but he just doesn't get it. And after Millie attacks Fizzeroli in front of him, he still gives Moxie the time to finish his song before kicking Millie and Moxie out of his strip club. So I can't in good faith say that he is a villain, at least at this time. Anyway, with that all being said, let me know what you guys thought about the video, and let me know what you guys expect to see from one of your favorite villains going forward in Season 2. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see ya in the next video.